Arturia SuperFreak is 100% definitely on the way. It's probably gonna blow your mind, and this is just rumors, you know, you don't gotta trust me on this, but I'll tell you right now, I can guarantee you the SuperFreak, which is the best name for it, they might change the name because, you know, when you do stories like this, sometimes they're like, they changed the name, you know. You know I'm known for breaking stuff before it ever happens, so. The Arturia SuperFreak, I'm gonna get into the MiniFreak 3.0, which is pretty cool. I have a MiniFreak, but the SuperFreak that's gonna be coming out, just think about the groove synthesis third wave, and think about what's inside the groove synthesis third wave. Think about the analog filters, the digital oscillators. Just think about all that for a minute. And then think about this new update that they just did for the MiniFreak, which to me, to be honest with you, I think the MiniFreak is one of the best synthesizers money can buy at the moment, the Arturia MiniFreak. Why is it one of the best synthesizers you can buy at the moment? Because besides the mini keys, the engine in it, the oscillators it has, the analog filters, the combination of the Arturia effects it's got in it, and then when you look at this new update with the granular plus the sampling capability it has in there, the samples you can load in, it's something pretty special. So let's just talk a minute about the MiniFreak 3.0, which I might do a video on later, but then we'll get into the SuperFreak and why I think that is 100% on the way. I would hope so in 2025, but and why it's going to be very, very, I don't want to say similar, but if you look at the Groove Synthesis third wave, then you can look at the specs for the Groove Synthesis third wave and look at the MiniFreak 3.0 update, and that'll give you an idea, I think, what the SuperFreak or the Mega Freak or the Freak, whatever they're going to call it, is going to be. So right here, MiniFreak 3.0 update, same algorithms, but they also put in some new algorithms. It's got obviously 22 distinct sound engines, covered by mutable instrument ports, superwave, carplus, algorithms, noise, blah, blah, blah. Now what they gave you here is granular, the ability to do granular sampling, and it also gave you sample playback. Samples can be easily selected using the shift button plus type knob. So this is a pretty big update. Now, it gave you 7 new granular engines, okay? They got a multicolored granular sphere, they got cloud grains, they got hit grain scan, and they already premiered the MicroFreak 5.0 update in 2023. So the cool thing that they're doing about the Arturia Freak series, which to me, I mean, you know I love the Cream Dream. You know I love the Cream Dream. It's probably, I don't know why, but it's like one of my favorite synthesizers, the Arturia Polybrew 12. But the Freak series is what interests me the most, because I'm not really too fussy about analog, to be honest with you. It is what it is. It doesn't, I have no nostalgia or affinity to it. But when it comes to hybrid synthesizers, I think digital oscillators with analog filters is the way to go, 100% now. I don't know, you know, analog is analog. If you want to do it, you can do it. But so the cloud grains, traditional granular sampler engine with density chaos parameters. They got hit grains, they got the frozen, they got scan, and then they got 3 more granular algorithms called lick, raster, and lick and raster algorithms, right? Beat, repeats, and effects. So it depends. If you're into granular, Udo, what's up, Don Wrangler? Yeah, Udo makes probably one of the best synthesizers now, but it's too expensive, right? So when you think about a SuperFreak, Arturia is not going to give you a SuperFreak for $5,000, okay? You look at the Groove Synthesis third wave, and now Arturia is saying that they're going to be adding the ability to put your own samples in. They're going to be giving you the ability to put your own samples on this thing. Look what Groove Synthesis Third Wave just did. The MiniFreak is becoming an amazing platform to take Arturia's company into the future. Now that they got the big 12-voice polybrute that they put out, and now that they got the full touch key bed, and if you think if they can combine the full touch key bed in a synthesizer with 12 to 24 oscillators, because the MiniFreak has 6, right? It's 6 voice polyphonic, but then you've got 12 voices paraphonic. Imagine a SuperFreak with 12 voices to 24 voices, and then you've got the analog filters, and then you've got the ability to have sample playback. You've got the ability to bring in your own samples. You've got a granulizer, and then you've got all the other digital oscillator engines that are inside the MiniFreak plus more. I mean, the SuperFreak is probably going to be one of, if you ask me, it's going to be one of the greatest synthesizers of the decade. Once they bring that out, and it depends if they're going to bring it out in 2025, I don't know. But when they bring out the Arturia SuperFreak, it will be affordable and extremely, extremely powerful. And if they go ahead and they put in the full touch key bed in a 49 key, imagine a full touch Arturia Technology full touch key bed in a 49 key to 61 key SuperFreak. So can you imagine the modulation capability you can have in a digital analog hybrid synthesizer with a full touch key bed? You saw how amazing it is when you got the Polybrute 12 with the full touch key bed, and that's all analog. Now imagine a full touch key bed in a SuperFreak, an Arturia SuperFreak with the full touch key bed, and imagine the sound possibilities and the expressivity you can have in something like that. It will just, to me, the sky is the limit with the Freak platform. Polybrute 12 is what it is. It's basically like, it's almost like the Polybrute 12 will go down in history as like one of the greatest synthesizers ever made for analog, for sure, when history writes it. Well, you guys got any questions? Yeah, Viral Beats and James Dyson show some new features of the MiniFreak. Yeah, I got a MiniFreak at the house, so I might update that tonight, and update that tonight and go do a little demo on it tonight. We'll see. Don't you think Behringer prepares the digital invasion first analog, but now? Yeah, Thomas, I think Behringer, once they see the success of the Behringer Wave, which is I believe their first synthesizer with the FPGA chip, the digital oscillators, and analog filters, once they see the success of the Behringer Wave, to me they knocked it out of the park. But we'll see sales. As far as I know, they're selling like hotcakes, and as far as I know, the Lindrum is selling like hotcakes. These are probably going to be their two biggest selling synthesizers, is the LM drum and the Behringer Wave. So what you can imagine Behringer might do in the near future is when they do their flagship digital hybrid synthesizer, right? That's where they're going. It's just a matter of time. They have all these projects on the back burner that they gotta bring to market because everybody's been waiting for them, you know? And the 2025 for Behringer is gonna blow your guys' mind. It's gonna absolutely blow your mind. Where do you want one of these Synth Mafia shirts? You can get one of these Synth Mafia shirts from my great friend Echo Craft at echocraft.com. ECHOKRFT, echocraft.com. He made these. Synth Mafia. So, I got a storefront too, but I don't got the Synth Mafia shirt. Echo's hosting the Synth Mafia shirt. I got a brand new, I got some brand new things coming out on my store too. It's gonna be very, very cool. I was finished up some designs last night, going in a little bit of a different kind of direction. I think you guys are gonna love it. Like I said, we're doing something very cool for the Synth Renegades in 2025. So if you guys got a logo or something for your YouTube page, send it to me in an email, and we're gonna add it to the whole project, and it's gonna be very crazy, and it's gonna be very cool. And I think if you're a part of it, it's pretty exciting. Yeah, Uncle Jerry got a custom Renegade shirt. If you guys want a custom Synth Renegade shirt, all you gotta do is also email me, and I can make you one too. Yeah, that's what we do. So, what do you guys got? Any other questions? Because all this tells me this is a sneak peek into what we're going to witness in the SuperFreak. We're going to see a culmination of all the greatest parts and the greatest progress that Arturia has made. We're going to see the beautiful filters they have, the ladder filter, the Steiner Parker filter. Then we're going to see the amazing variety in the oscillators for the SuperFreak. We're going to see the ability to bring your own samples. We're going to see the ability to bring the granulizer in, and the full touch key bed on a SuperFreak is going to be crazy. So we're looking at Hydra Synth. We're looking at groove synthesis territory. That's the kind of awesomeness the Arturia SuperFreak is going to bring to you. It's going to bring to you the Hydra Synth / groove synthesis. That's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be a combination of the Hydra Synth and the groove synthesis third wave, but it's going to be way, way better. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal synthesizer. How much you think the SuperFreak will cost? Well, if we look at the groove synthesis coming in at like $5,000, $6,000, and then you look at the Hydra Synth coming in at Hydra Synth Deluxe, but let's just say the 49 key Hydra Synth, because I think they do a 49 key. We look at the 49 key Hydra Synth at about $1,300. I'd say a SuperFreak probably anywhere between $15.99 to $17.99. I could be wrong though, because Arturia is known for. I was actually very surprised that they sold that Polybrute 12 for $4,000. I think. Well, I mean, they priced it out in their back end. They know the deal, how much it costs to make everything and that. So they had to price it out accordingly. But I think it was a huge mistake to make the Arturia Polybrute 12 $4,000. I think that's just crazy town. And apparently they're selling a load of them though. I mean, I've already come to the conclusion I'm probably never going to get my hands on a Cream Dream Polybrute 12. That's fine. It'll just remain a dream for me. My goal now is to 2037 to get a Arturia Polybrute 12 Cream Dream. But yeah, man. So this is, anyways. Let's get over to 3.0. The MiniFreak 3.0 update. I'll do a video later where I update it and stuff and just play around with it and give you my honest opinion what it is, because I'm not a crazy fan of granular, but why not put it on your, if you got the ability to have granular on your synth, why not? It adds very cool texture, and now that you can put your own, not your own samples, but they put their own samples on there, but the fact they already said that they're going to allow you to put your own samples on, which is, then you're going into groove synthesis territory, right? That was one of the crazy features that the third wave did was. Another awesome thing, like a company like Synthstrom Deluge are super focused on the user. They do insane updates. They opened up their software. The cool thing about Arturia is they're already on a 3.0 firmware for this thing, and every firmware update has given you cool stuff. And even on the Arturia site, they're giving you free patches and all that. And someone said the other day, you know, why is Samurai sitting in a coffee shop with something printed out on paper? Because that's how I do it. That's the way it is, you know. Sometimes you just want to go old school. You don't want to look at a computer screen. I want to look at paper. I like paper, you know. So I guess I should probably like also address the fact that we lost a few Synth Renegades yesterday, man. It's crazy, and I think the Synth Renegades who cut and run on me yesterday and left Samurai Nation. A sad day, man, because I don't think you see the big picture of what's happening here. You're always welcome back, but man, some samurais bailed yesterday, and you know what? that happens sometimes. Sometimes sometimes some people don't really understand why would they leave. Some samurais, some synth renegades left because they think that I should have beat someone into submission. They think that I should have showed no mercy, and I should have absolutely destroyed a man, and I should have absolutely destroyed his channel. And they think that because my numbers are so astronomically greater in almost every area, that I should have showed no mercy. And I did show mercy, because when you're the A side in a battle and someone comes to you and reaches out and you sit down with them and you have a conversation man to man and you hash out what's been happening, there comes a amount of respect that goes with that, and respect is earned, it's not given, and respect was earned on both ends. And like I said, after a good hard battle, you respect each other, and I respect him, and it's now time to focus more on building up what I got, get back. Like I said, I thanked him yesterday because he pushed me to new limits. He pushed me to do 30 live streams a month for you guys, pushed me to dig in and be creative and push me, and I respect him for that. It was a beautiful moment. And the fact that SOAR was there and they brokered this it might sound cheesy, but I called it the Synth Wars Summit, the first ever, and it was a beautiful moment. And I think there's no one else in the world besides the Symptoms of Reality team who could have pulled that off and put it together. And they pulled it off and put it together. Yeah, they pulled it off and put it together. What's up, Morris? They pulled it off and put it together, not even by reaching out or asking or anything like that. They put it together by sending out a frequency that went directly into my antenna. I picked it up, and it all happened. And they're the only people on the planet that could do it. And I am forever tied to them on a higher plane than most people will understand. But I know they understand it, because we understand it. And so yeah, some people wanted no mercy, and you know what? Without mercy, there is no growth. And it's time to move on, man. It's time to move on to bigger and better things. It's time to take the channel to an area that I have in mind. And what I got in mind includes every single synth renegade. It includes all the samurais. It includes all the bros. It includes all the digi-dogs. It includes all the vintage vagabonds. It includes everybody. And we've got a ragtag group of misfits and rebels who are blue-collar synthesizer enthusiasts. We're not professionals. We're just people out here who enjoy sound, and we have a heavy aptitude for frequency and creation. And I'm trying to bring all these people together. I'm not trying to, it's just it's like a black hole in a good way. It's like a tornado that when you get sucked up in the tornado, you pop out in a wormhole in a totally different dimension, and suddenly now you've got a group of people around you who are supporting you. Don Ragler, you're going to WrestleMania? Crazy. But yeah. So anyways, guess what? Competition is healthy, but tearing each other down isn't. And once it gets to a point where it becomes, when it becomes negative in a certain way, it's time to end it, and it was ended. Yeah, there's no need to fight. Life was designed for us to be better and loving. Yeah, I agree with that 100%, but there is a reason to fight, so I agree with it 99%. There's no reason to fight, but there is a reason to fight sometimes, and you have to be willing to fight to to earn respect sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's just the way it is. But you also have to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. Right? And it's all a gamble, man. Life's a big gamble. But I tell you what, 2025 is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be phenomenal. The Synth Renegades are going to have an amazing year. It's going to be an uplifting year. It's going to be a year of cohesion and unity and teamwork. And it's going to be a year where if you want to put in the work on your own, you're going to have a group of people around you who are going to support you and push you to new limits. That's if you're up for the challenge. If you're not up for the challenge, then just jump on the caboose of the train, hit the hot bar, grab yourself a drink, and enjoy the ride, because all gas, no brakes, baby. And creativity is the key, man. Hopefully after this last 6 months, some people are going to start to understand the method to the madness. They'll start to understand and enjoy something that they might have thought was foolish, childish, whatever some people want to call it. I think that once you peel back some layers of the onion, you know, you might start crying tears of joy because you finally found something that, like a couple of the boys said in SOAR the other night, it brings you back to that childhood imagination. It lets you know that just because you're a grown man or woman or you're an adult, there is room in life for imagination. And bringing your imagination back is something that a lot of people have a hard time with, because in this world that we live in, there's an invisible force that's always suppressing your creativity. There's an invisible force that's always telling you to not do it. You're not good enough. People aren't going to like it. You need to please these people. You should do this. You should do that. You know, you're an adult now. You're an adult now. You can't be creative. You got to do this and do that. And that happens from a very young age. So bringing back that youthful wonderment and allowing yourself to take off the chains and the shackles that have been wrapped around your creative ankles from a very young age. Once you start breaking off those chains and removing the cuffs of creativity, suddenly now you're like, wow, this was inside me the whole time. And I don't care what people think about it. I'm going to do it. And like they said in the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. And I said it yesterday, in YouTube, there's a beautiful chance for you to start something. You have your own radio station, you have your own TV station, you have your own ability to broadcast your art, your creativity, your thoughts, your perspectives out to the world. And if anybody has their antenna up and they tune their radio station to your frequency, suddenly now you start being around a like-minded group of people, and there's lots of cross-pollination in different zones. You know, I got so many friends that absolutely love mixed martial arts. And I got so many friends that absolutely love pro wrestling. I love both of them. And some of my friends that like mixed martial arts can't stand pro wrestling. And some of my pro wrestling fans can't stand mixed martial arts. And then there's a group of us who love them both. And I mean, this is the kind of craziness you hear sometimes. Like, I've been a pro wrestling fan my whole life. Since I was a little boy, it was an escape for me. My friends played with wrestling characters. We wrestled in the backyard. I come from a small rural island in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, a very, very small town. And we didn't have TV growing up and none of that stuff. We had one station, so we'd go out in the backyard and we'd fight. And when I'd go to my friend's house on a Saturday and watch main event wrestling, then we'd go out and practice the moves on each other. And then we got into martial arts and actual real fighting. And when I hear people belittle people who like pro wrestling, it's hilarious to me. And the argument they say is, how can you like that? Don't you know it's fake? I'm like, brother, I know it's fake. But pro wrestling brings the audience and the characters and the business together as one. It's one of the only sports where the audience is a third character in a match. The audience and the people in the match do things during the match depending on how the audience reacts. And that's actually what I do on my channel. But when a grown man looks at me and he says, "How could you like that pro wrestling crap? Don't you know it's fake?" I'm like, "Brother, listen. You went and watched Titanic with your missus and you cried, okay? You sat in a movie theater with a bucket full of super buttered up popcorn on your lap, and as a grown man, you started crying. And don't you know that Titanic is fake? You know, don't you know that Avengers is fake? Don't you know that all the movies in Hollywood are fake? You don't hear anybody going around and be like, "Dude, I can't believe you watch movies. Don't you know they're fake?" It's like, that's the same argument. That's the absurdity to the argument of telling another person, "How can you like pro wrestling? Don't you know it's fake?" What do you think, I'm retarded? Do you think I'm friggin' retarded? Of course I know it's fake. But the deal is, it's the realest sport in the world because it's the one sport that admits it's not real in the sense of its storyline, while most other sports are all rigged based on gambling and profit. And if you think that the NHL and the NFL and the NBA and all those sports don't pick winners and losers every year based on the billion-dollar business that they're in, do you think that they leave things up for chance? Do you think that there's no outside influence in the NHL and the NFL and the NBA? Do you think that that's just all like may the best team win? Man, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. So don't come at me with that pro wrestling garbage, right? Because I'll tell you something right now, brother. The cream always rises to the top, all right? Anyway, back to the MiniFreak. So the MiniFreak 3.0 is a very cool update. To me, it's a... What's up, Andy Fireblade Music? Late to the... What do you think? This is an Echo Craft special, right? Pick one of these up at echocraft.com. Synth Mafia shirt. You know, I had a bunch of emails the other day, and they were like, "Dude, is the Synth Mafia real or not?" And here's what I got to say about the Synth Mafia. 100% the Synth Mafia is real. The Synth Illuminati is real. 100% they're real. Now, is Pro Synth Network the Synth Mafia? No, they're not. They're not the Synth Mafia. And during this little process and this little exploratory investigation, they're not the Synth Mafia. They're a group of hardworking guys led by a hardworking man who cut his jib in the industry pre-YouTube and decided to take his creative energy and take his work ethic and bring it to a channel, and now his channel is doing great, and they've got a great audience, and they're doing live streaming because they know it's hot and they know it's the thing, yeah. But is the Synth Mafia real? 100% it's real. 100% it's real. And every industry has gatekeepers, like we talked about the other night. And if you think that they don't, you're crazy. And if you think that every industry doesn't play favorites, and if you think every industry doesn't use influence over its... If you think that the synthesizer industry doesn't use bribery to stifle negative publicity, you just don't get it, because they do, all right? If you think, and they do it by two ways. When you get given a product, there's an unwritten rule that review the product for us, please, and you get to keep it. Now, the unwritten rule is, if you want another one of these products in the future, take it easy on us. You know what I mean? You don't need to glaze it like Andrew Huang does with the Labyrinth. You don't need to glaze it like that, but you know, do the whole job interview thing. You know, what's your two greatest strengths and weaknesses? Well, sir, my greatest strength is that I'm the hardest working man you ever meet. And then he's like, "Well, tell me, Samurai, what's your greatest weakness?" And I'm like, "Well, sir, my greatest weakness is I work too hard." Okay, that's what synthesizer reviews are. They're interview strength and weakness questions. All right? Tell me what's the greatest thing about the Arturia MiniFreak? The Arturia MiniFreak is one of the most amazing synthesizers ever released. It's a digital hybrid synthesizer. It's got amazing oscillators. It's got analog filters and a crazy effects section. Well, Samurai, can you tell us what you don't like about it? Well, to be honest with you, what I don't like about it is they put the orange knobs on it. So the orange knobs, really, you know, I would have preferred those to be blue, but pretty much besides the orange knobs that feel a little bit rubbery, the thing is an absolute knockout of the park. All right? So that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. Is that crazy? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so anyways, we got something cool coming up for the Synth Renegades. It's almost like an homage. It's a tribute. It's going to be more of a, it's going to be a more, you want to be a part of something, you can be a part of something, man. And if you want to be a part of something, you can be ride or die. And the Synth Renegade movement is going to tear across the GearTube platform, and it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And the beautiful thing about the force to be reckoned with the Synth Renegades is that we're all individuals. Nobody's influencing anything. Everybody's doing their own thing. And when you got that patch on your back, you got an army of people behind you who are going to back you up creatively, help you with anything you need, and push you to new heights, and push you to be the absolute most creative self you can be through hard work, through beating perfection paralysis, through getting rid of imposter syndrome, and just going for it and putting in the work every day. Because when you off-gas your creative energy and you add a few deadlifts and a few bench presses and a few combos on the heavy bag, when you add that combination together, and when you drink the Red Velvet Synth Samurai smoothie, which is 16 ounces of organic, non-GMO raw milk with 7 tablespoons of ketchup, organic ketchup, 2 to 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and optional 2 kosher dill pickles, blend it up with 4 raw eggs in there, and then you chug it. If you mix that with the Synth Muscle workout program that I'm developing at the moment, I'll be doing the Synth Muscle series, which is a workout program for synthesizer enthusiasts who spend a lot of time sitting on their ass and need to spend a little bit more time taking care of their temple. So I'll be doing the Synth Muscle program. I have the new Synth Renegade Vision coming up for 2025, and I got a lot of things planned, because if you don't move, you rust. And all I'm ever doing, baby, how can a pickle be kosher? You use kosher salt to pickle it, baby. That's how a pickle be kosher. Yeah, so we got lots of cool things coming up. I think when I get home today, if I got the gumption today, I'm going to do the Behringer Bros Christmas party when I get home live stream, which will be an homage to Uli Behringer and all the synthesizers he released. We'll have a watching party of many of the synths that have been released, what's to come, and just have a good time with each other. And maybe I'll go through some of the Synth Samurai off the top of my head awards, like the biggest shill of the year, the greatest newcomer of the year, Renegade of the year, the most improved, the MVP Renegade of the year. We'll do something like that. Keep it very sports style, you know, like those old school hockey banquets you go to. You get a medal that said most improved, most dedicated, most valuable, most sportsmanlike. I mean, what I get, I probably wouldn't get the most sportsmanlike, but you know, sometimes I'm one of those hockey players, man. I played hockey all the way growing up, right up to university, and then I played varsity soccer in university. I'm one of those hockey players, man, that I like to mix it up, man. I like to get in there and mix it up. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I got to get to work. You guys take it easy. Have a great day. Just remember, the Synth Mafia is real. It's real. It's just not who you think it is. And I'll be releasing more on that later, because when you guys find out who's actually running this Synth Mafia, it's going to absolutely blow your friggin' mind. And the shit winds of change are blown, baby, and the shit NATO is picking up speed. So just remember, you ain't alone. when you're a synth renegade. Slow, slow.